What do you think?
It can only be a positive thing. I think if you look back at some incidents last year, one that stands out to me is Jacqueline Ellis crashing at Taunton, hits a stationary car. Yes, if Sam was in the car when she hit it, yeah, it might have knocked him around. But if he was in the position of getting out of his car when that happened, entirely different story. It can only be a good thing. I'm surprised it's not been a rule for years ago. It's a rule in the States. It's a rule in New Zealand, Australia. Why not here? It's got to be done.
Do you know what? I totally agree with you. Although I must say, from being a marshal and starters and working on the inside and on the infield, the F2 boys, all credit to them, they come on the infield, they do mainly sit in the car and sit tight. I don't know whether it's specifically aimed more at bangers or F2s or different formulas, but I've got a feeling the banger boys are the ones that do like to hit the ejector button occasionally.
Yeah, ejector seat boys, it is almost certainly aimed at bangers, but I think you can't have one rule for bangers and one rule for others. You've got to have a standard rule across all formulas so that stewards, marshals, drivers, everyone knows where they are. And I think, to be honest, 6 months' time it would be long forgotten about. It'll just be the standard form.
It'll be the norm, and I think it's long overdue, to be honest, isn't it? Definitely. We need to cut out the incidents that are happening and concentrate on the racing.
Yeah, again, interesting points there from Matt. Yeah, all good in that particular hood. I think he's going to be one to watch again next year, see how Season 2 comes in. He's not actually got a car as of yet.
As of yet, he hasn't. They've got one hopefully in the pipeline, and I think the second part of his season will be spot on for him. And if they get the car running on the Z-Tech as he wants it running, and the problems that he's had with the previous car, I think he'll be spot on, to be honest.
I've heard rumours, and they are rumours, many rumours, that Terry George is involved in his new car. So if it is a Terry George car, which is a strong rumour I've heard.
Yeah, he's very lock-lipped about where his car was coming from, I'm afraid. There's not one I can help with.
He's spoken several lines lately, and brother isn't saying much either.
No.
But, so that's usually the source of main gossip. Right after those two, we'll be back after a break. Missed an episode of Stocks Radio? I feel your pain, brother. Missing an episode can bring on mental episodes and life-changing circumstances. However, there is a solution on the horizon. iTunes! Simply open up iTunes, go to podcasts and search for Stocks Radio. Hit subscribe and it doesn't cost you a penny. And the next episode is dropped straight into your listening device. Rate, review and subscribe and never miss an episode again. Warning, missing an episode doesn't actually bring on mental episodes. Your experience may differ. Yet stocks can go down as well as up. Your home is at risk if you set fires with.
Stocks Radio. Like the in-car-race pace car. We lead whilst the rest follow.
I've got a Rob Speed t-shirt on.
Welcome back to the F2 Show podcast. Not live, recorded, for your amusement and things like that. And we'll be up before the next episode of Overtalk.
Let's hope so.
Hey. And another thing, hang on. Just stop a second.
Oh dear.
Bill knows that the live action arena isn't actually a race. It's choreographed, like Strictly Come Dancing. Bill knows that you don't really need to commentate on it. No matter if the video is being shown by a well-known person. Bill knows this. Be smart like Bill.
But did you know that Bill doesn't know that Bill had it wrong, that it wasn't choreographed on the Sunday from what I heard, because there was a wee bit of an incident.
I heard
we had
that.
One car go over the other, and that sure as hell wasn't choreographed.
Oh, we had one a few years ago. We had one roll over.
Yeah, there was a few bits that weren't choreographed in there.
Okay, back to this.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yep, the sounds of for Weekend 1 2.0. But it's Weekend 1 1.0, even though the stand, the oval racing experience, whatever you want to call it, 2.0, was, of course, hashtag watch it, race it, pick it, lick it, roll it, flick it, was launched at the NEC, and, well, to many people, it went down in a little bit. It's a little bit different, and it may have worked, but I think if you're going to have, it's like having a selection of takeaways. Most people like sausage and chips. Sausage and chips, Briscoe Formula 1, Briscoe Formula 2. Okay? Some people like a bit of a pickled egg on the side, Saloon Stocks. Right? Some people like beans, National Hot Rods. Right?
Hang on, did you just compare a saloon stock to a pickled egg?
Yeah, you go to things you like.
Okay.
Some people like those weird kind of like gherkin things. Well, it's not my fault people like Rebels, is it? But that's what it was. The National Hot Rods and things like that. They were all there on one big stand, one smorgasbord of Briscoe. With I think the two main things that sell it are Briscoe Formula 2 and Briscoe Formula 1, and it has been for years. Now, I know they're downplaying the rights of it, but they are the biggest draws to the NEC. I mean, yes, bangers are there, but most of the banger fans are up at the Civil War on the Sunday. And if you were there, good on you. It was bloody freezing.
It was absolutely freezing. I'll stand up for that. I was frozen solid.
Well, there you go. High vis numpties.
Do you know what? Saying that, there weren't actually that many high vises. It was more about the silly hats, the gloves and the scarves, actually. I think a lot of people showed off their Christmas presents. Less high-vis and more ridiculous.
Formula 2 guys had the champions there. Obviously, national points champion, newly crowned. That's George McMillan. We had the world champion, Kelvyn Marshall, who's also the European champion. And the other one of the glorious quartet of titles. For once... it was actually a moodiness show, actually, but there's no Moody to be seen. And it was Adam Rubery, who is the reigning British champion, whose car's up for sale, and, he spoke to Sammie too.
Okay, and joining me now, I've got 700 Adam Rubery. Hey Adam, how you doing?
I'm good, thanks, you.
Yeah, not too bad. So how are you finding the NEC and the Autosport show and the live action arena?
Yeah, it's really good, actually. It's really close racing. I think we're putting on a decent show, so I think we look good out there.
Yeah, it does look good. Looks very good. Looks very competitive. Gives the good competitive vibe to those that are watching. Now, let's go back to 2015. Obviously, you got your British. Car is looking fantastic. Now we come to the World, and we didn't have the best of days on the World. Go through the 2 days for us.
Yeah, but basically, went out for practice before the World Final, and I think I was second fastest, so I was really, really confident, and Ensford's my favourite track anyway. And then, obviously, it came to World Final time, and, well, basically, I just didn't get past the start-finish line through the Moody and Wimpy's incident, basically. I steered to miss them, and I think Gordon just clipped my back bumper and ripped my back bumper off.
Yeah, it was a very unlucky lucky place to be. It was one of those in the wrong place at the wrong time moments.
Oh, totally. We're just absolutely gutted because obviously you build up all year on that one race and it's just over in a flash before you even took the green flag, basically. But obviously that's racing, isn't it? So you just have to move on.
Unfortunately, it is. Now, going forward to 2016, what's the plans and the ambitions for this year then?
I think the plans are really. I mean, we're on quite a budget, so we just try and do about the same as what we did this year. But I would like to show the British roof off why I've got it. I will be going over Ireland to defend it. So and then just do the major meetings really. And I do like going to the southwest, so we are going to try and do most of the tournaments, if not all of them, and maybe a couple of St days as well.
Saying about going over to Ireland, just out of curiosity, would you travel aboard for a World Final?
Yeah, I would, yeah. Definitely, yeah.
Do you think many would, or would it be the expense of it that would stop people, do you think?
I think the expense is a big factor, but everybody likes to go for the World, and just to be in it is like a great achievement just to get in the race. So I do think if it was across the water, I still think you'd get a good amount go. Obviously not as many as if it was at their particular local track, but I think it would be good to see it happen.
Yeah. Well, fingers crossed, maybe one day, eh? Yeah. So 2016, fingers crossed that everything goes a little bit better than it did last year for you. And with 2016, as I've spoken to most of the other guys, there are a couple of rule changes that have come in. One of which is obviously this: sit in your car, sit there, tighten up, and stay there till the end. What's your opinion on that?
Well, I think you are safe if in your car. So if you're on the actual track up against the arm carrier, obviously you're a lot safer in your car strapped in. As for if you're on the infield, I think that's a different matter. I think if you're on the infield and it does go yellow, I think you should be able to get out of your car. If the race is still going, then no, stay in your car strapped in, you are safer. But if it goes yellows, I think you should be allowed out of your car. So.
Yeah, well, I can see where you're coming from, because sometimes when you get a race suspension, especially if you unfortunately get a bit of a nasty incident, you don't really want to be sat in that car for a good hour whilst that's dealt with. You should be allowed to get out. I can see where that comes from. Well, thank you very much for talking to me. You can smile again now and breathe. And hopefully we'll see you out in South West later this year. And fingers crossed for this year.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
And finally, where else can we go at the NEC? Yes, shall we do it again?
Oh, God, we're going again. Okay.
Yeah.
On the hour. Every hour. Let's go.
Yeah, on the hour, every hour. If you're not loving this, throw your hands up in the air like you just
have a
don't
rave.
care. I'm going to get Maxie Jansen's pension, but do you know Maxie Jansen Faithless is actually 65?
No way.
He's 65.
Let's rave.
It's 20 years since Insomnia this year. That makes me feel very, very old. So we come on to the strings of that again. Ladies and gentlemen, the Impact Dancers. And thank you very much. And we go again with our final interview of the day, and that is the world champion, Kelvyn Marshall.
So here we are at the NEC again, and with me I've bumped into 101, Mr. Kelvyn Marshall, our world champion in the Formula 2s. How you doing, Kelvyn?
I'm alright, thanks. Not too bad.
How are you enjoying the live action arena?
Yeah, it's cool. It was crammed in. We don't get much time to walk around, but yeah, no, it's good.
Well, I've actually just come out the arena watching you guys, and it seems rather slippy out there this year. It seems slippier than it was last year, so how are you feeling with it?
It is, they tightened the corners up a little bit, so you can't really give that much bumper, but it's getting a bit livelier now. It should be pretty chaotic by tomorrow.
I got a feeling tomorrow there could be a bit more bumper action going in.
Yeah, I'm glad I put wheel guards on both sides of the car, put it that way.
Now, 2015 has obviously been a bit of an adventurous year for you, obviously gaining the gold and becoming the world champion. How was that? That must have been unbelievable for you.
It started off early on, really, with the European. I was a bit psyched up for the Euro because I always wanted that, and then the world, it just sort of came on its own, really. The European was the one that I wanted initially.
At least, you got both, didn't you?
Yeah,
you did get both. I just make sure I was right there. And I must say, the world, you kind of had it in the bag, really, not to put the commentator's curse or anybody's curse on it, but it kind of looked like you had it in the bag. Did it feel good to you actually out there?
The previous meeting leading up to it, the car was, shouldn't really say this as a car builder, but the car was useless. The previous meeting, he wouldn't even turn around the corner and actually pulled off a couple of races. We just managed to get it right just in the nick of time. Confidence
was a little bit iffy and airy on the day then?
It was a little bit iffy because we didn't know what were going to happen, and we had a few different setups to run, and then it was just mint straight out of the bag, and we'd run up the start box, have a look at the lap times after the practice, and we didn't know whether other people weren't giving it their all, but we were 3 tenths quicker than anyone, so we were fairly confident with that.
So now that's obviously sunk in, you got the gold paint out, and I must say the car is looking beautiful and very, very shiny. What's the plans for this year then?
I'll try and go everywhere. I keep getting Marv to do all the tracks in Holland as well, so I'll try and do all the tracks in England and do Ireland and do Holland as well.
So you're going to go and try and do as much as you can?
Yeah, I think if you're world champion, you should do all the tracks, all over the show. So.
Yeah, you've got to show off that roof. It's one of a kind, really, isn't it? You've got to show it off. You've earned it. You've worked hard for it. You've got to show it off.
Yeah, I'm going to give it a go.
Brilliant. Well, Kelvyn, I must say, before I disappear, actually, there is a couple of questions I want to ask, which I've been asking a few of the boys. Now, obviously, there's been a few rule changes coming in. One in which of sit in your car, stay there. What do you think?
Don't know, really. I think when that one came out, I thought, if you can't use your loaf and not bail out the car when you shouldn't be bailing out the car, you shouldn't really